Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the Iron Man 2 concept series Iron Man Deep Dive Armor. Of course, let's get a look at this bad boy in packaging. Of course, as I said, I went back and kind of randomly grabbed some of these guys, and this is another one of those guys that really had a great look in packaging, and I've got to say, one of the things that's really making me want to pick up a lot of figures from this line is I think it'll be great to have all your figures on their base side by side, like a little hall of armor, as Tony Stark has. And as you can see, a very nice looking figure, very big compared to some of the others. Of course, it says launching torpedo. Up here is a little clip-on torpedo. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. He also has his 3 armor cards and his base, which can hold his armor cards onto the back of the packaging. And up here it says, Iron Man Deep Dive Armor. Crushing pressure prevents all but the toughest tech from ever venturing to the bottom of the ocean. Unfortunately, some villains have access to such technology, and Iron Man is the only hero high-tech enough to stop them. Of course, get a look at him with his launching torpedo, and over here you have the Mark II, the Iron Man Hypervelocity Armor, and the Ironmonger. So, not a whole lot's come out for the concept series. I know there's this one and there's the Inferno Armor. But this is the one I really wanted, so let's pull this bad boy out of the packaging. And here we have the Deep Dive Armor out of packaging. Now I have him wearing his missile, but just barely. As you can tell, the missile is touching the ground, and some poses with the missile on will cause him to go off balance and kind of tilt off his base, which is unfortunate, but once again, I'm not a big fan of these projectiles, and I probably won't be posing the armor with it. Of course, it just slips on his arm. You press this button, and the missile fires. Boom. So, not crazy about it, but once again, it's not like they were forcing you to use it, so on to the Deep Dive Armor. Once again, some very impressive detail on this guy. I will say this knee seems to be a little loose. You can see every time I kind of mess with him up here, his knee likes to bend, which is unfortunate, but it's not a huge issue. So, of course, I expected some problems with the bulkiness of the figure, and there definitely are some issues there. Just to get a quick comparison in here is size. Here's Crimson Dynamo. You can see, the Crimson Dynamo really is a bulkier figure. Let's get the suitcase armor in here as well. Just kind of get a size comparison as how he stacks up to these guys. Okay, that being said, let's pull him off. He definitely is one of the bigger figures in the line. Of course, let's pull him off his base. Like I said, there's some minor problems with him on his base. He likes to tilt sometimes, but it's not a huge issue. You can very easily work past it. So as far as articulation, he does 360 degrees at the arm, bends at the elbow. No type of wrist joint because his fingers just kind of merge out of his hand there. I mean, his fingers just kind of merge out of his little blaster. Of course, go up to about here. Also spin. Again, he's back down. Same for both arms. Torso joint, which does 360 degrees. Head goes left and right. Doesn't do a... Well, actually, yeah, it does do a full 360. Legs, double jointed at the knee. Very surprising. A little too free moving at the knee for me. They're actually pretty loose, which is unfortunate. And some very minor foot movement. Yeah, so other than the joints being a little loose at the knee, there's really not a whole lot of problems with the articulation. It actually really surprised me. So that being said, let's get him standing here. Seems like the legs are maybe a little bit more of an issue than I made them out to be. Standing up. Of course, putting him back here. His armor cards, as you can see there. And the standard base that comes with all Iron Man figures. So, once again, you can mix and match armor cards to make your own armor. So, Deep Dive Armor also has some really nice articulation. Articulation, I already showed you that. Has some really nice detail on him. I can get him posed here really quick. Let's pick the camera up. And so you can see a very nice blue. There's a very nice paint around the light in his chest to make it like the light's kind of emanating all around the armor. Some very nice detail on his repulsors. Just all around some very great paint on the figure. So, like I said, these figures will run you about about $7 is the average they're going for that I found. Deep Dive Armor is actually one I very much recommend. I'm having a lot of issues with his knees, unfortunately, but as you can see, he'll stand just fine. It's just a little something you have to work past when you're posing him. But that being said, I highly recommend Deep Dive Armor, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.